I done did this video like 1,000 times. But anyways, hi guys, I'm Evin. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, thanks for clicking on this video. So today I want to do a story time on my pregnancy story. So I got pregnant around February 26, 2020. Yeah, it's really funny to me because this pregnancy wasn't planned. It literally was God's plan. I just got my apartment. My boyfriend had his own apartment, and I was working. I had a car, and everything was going smooth. Everything was going good. One day, I went to work, and I just wasn't feeling well. I wasn't feeling well. Something was different. Something was off. I'm usually happy, active, energetic, going to school, not school, going to work with children. You have to be up on your feet and, ready to go for them. And that day that I went to work, I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling well. Something was just different. Something was up. So, when I woke up, I was telling my boyfriend, like, I just wasn't feeling too well. I want to call off. But something told me, just still go to work as I normally do. So I continued in, got dressed, and we got in the car, and I went to work, and I just had to tell him, like, I don't feel well, but I went anyways. So by the end of the day, I came home, and he was telling me he was about to get in the shower. He was getting ready to get in the shower. And so in my mind, I was like, the only time I ever felt like this was 2 other times when I was actually pregnant. Before this pregnancy and my miracle rainbow baby child, I actually had an ectopic pregnancy and a miscarriage. I'm not going to talk too much about those because it's just another topic. I had an ectopic and a miscarriage before her. And so I never tried to have a child after that. And I wasn't ready to have a child after that. I was actually going to wait, like, I'll say 5 years after my miscarriage for sure, because they were both traumatic situations. And God just had another plan in my story. So he gave me my daughter. Basically, I was like, okay, let me go down the street to the liquor store and get a pregnancy test. So I snuck out while he was preparing to get in the shower, and I went and bought a pregnancy test. And I believe he was in the shower by the time I got back to the house, and because the liquor store was just on the corner. So I came right back, and I think he was in the shower, and I used the restroom, and I did the test like on the low, and I did the test, and I hurried up and put it back in the box and put it back in the drawer before he came out, because I wanted to find out on my own before I actually told him, because we've always talked about having kids. We had the first 2 situations before this, so if we were gonna have a baby, we were gonna be happy regardless. So I put it in the drawer, and he never came out the bathroom yet. He was still showering. So I was like, okay, let me check it and see and see what's on it or whatever, because I'm feeling sick. I feel a type of way. I feel nauseous, like something just not right. So I was like, let me check myself. I looked at that test, y'all, and it had 2 lines. Not 1, but 2. Clearly I was pregnant. I was very shocked. I was like nervous. I was happy. I was all kind of emotions at that moment, at that point when I found out that I was pregnant. I was just like a oh my God situation. But at the same time, I had put the pregnancy test back up, and waited till the next day. The next day, I actually told him we were driving to go. I don't even think we were going to work. We were just driving to go somewhere. But before we got on the freeway, we went to the gas station. And as he went inside the gas station to pay for the gas and pump the gas and everything, I had thought about how I was going to tell him. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get the pregnancy test, because I was just literally sitting there looking at it the whole time, like excited, happy, didn't know what to say. And I'm like, okay, well, let me do something to where he can like see it, and I don't gotta say it, because for some reason when you're telling somebody that you're pregnant, you just automatically get nervous a little bit. So I was kind of like nervous, but at the same time, I wasn't nervous because I already knew he was going to be happy. Like, I wasn't doubting that. It's just a feeling that you get before you tell somebody that you're pregnant. So I placed the pregnancy test. Yes, it was clean. It wasn't wet or anything like that. You know when you're in a car, like the two passenger seats, and then it's like this middle kind of like armrest in between. I placed the pregnancy test on the middle of the armrest, and he can actually like see it once he came in the car. So by the time he came in the car, he looked right at the armrest, and he looked at the pregnancy test, and then he looked at me, then he looked back, and he was just smiling the whole time. Like he was happy, like he was smiling the whole time. Like it wasn't a shock to him, but it was a shock to him, to both of us. So he was just like, oh my God, you're pregnant. Like we're going to have a baby. Like, he didn't do the most, but he was happy. And so we talked about it, and we was just happy, and our day went on from there. And yeah, like that's kind of like pretty much how I found out I was pregnant, because I wasn't feeling well. I still was going to work not feeling well, and then I just straight up took a test, and I literally found out I was pregnant within like the first couple of weeks. Like, and that's like the hardest thing to do, is find out the first couple of weeks that you're pregnant, because it's like you find out like day one you're pregnant, and you got so many months ahead of you to go. So it's kind of like, oh, it's just a lot. So I talked about that, and the pregnancy, it was just pretty much God's plan. Like we didn't plan the pregnancy, it was pretty much God's plan. And yeah, so after that, I had doctor's appointments, of course, but before that, let me let you guys know, I got pregnant right at the peak of COVID, at the peak of a pandemic. The pandemic started around March something. I don't know if it was the beginning of March or the end of March, but I got pregnant, remember, February 26, 2020, and then the pandemic hit right after. So I had a whole pandemic pregnancy, and I had a whole pandemic baby. I was in the house my complete entire pregnancy. I didn't go around people. I was isolated. I literally stayed in the house. Like I went to a grocery store, I believe like one time. Like I was never in the grocery stores. If I went somewhere, it was for me to go to the doctor's or to my family's house. And that's pretty much it. COVID hit, and it was hectic. Like it was just isolation. Like, and that's very like stressful. It's very emotional. It's just a lot when you're pregnant, because you're going through so many emotions already. So yeah, it kind of sucked. But yeah, even though like I had been in a pandemic, like, pregnancy, I always tried to tell myself like, you're okay, you're beautiful, you're happy, because I had a glow up with my pregnancy. Like I had a glow, like I looked good, like I was happy. Like I never had a moment where I was just trying to and force myself cry, like you're so depressed, like, oh my God, the pandemic. Like, no, I didn't do that. But the beginning of my pregnancy was the hardest. I literally was sick the whole first like 3 months of my pregnancy. I believe it stopped at like 3-4 months. I was sick. When I mean I was sick, I was so sick. I should have been at the hospital, and I was supposed to be at the hospital and put on IVs because I was that sick. I literally could not hold anything down, whether food, water, juice, whatever it was, even my prenatals. I couldn't even hold my prenatals down. And my prenatals I got from CVS, they were called Ollie's. And they're like just a chewable prenatal that I was taking at the time. And at first I was cool with them, but after a while it got to be like, nah, I can't do this. Like, I'm not about to eat this no more. I don't even want to smell the prenatal. Like, back it up. Like, nah, I can't take my prenatals no more. Like, I took them up into like 4 months, I believe, and I was done. Like, I was done. Luckily, like, I was healthy and stuff, and I ate, and I did everything the right way. I didn't do nothing that I shouldn't have been doing. So yeah, like it was to the point where like I would smell ketchup and I would run off to the bathroom and literally just, so it got really bad. Even my favorite food, spaghetti. I was eating spaghetti, and when I mean I could not finish my spaghetti, and that's my favorite food, and my sister cooked it for me, it was to the point where I could not eat the spaghetti. Like I had to go to the bathroom, and so it was just a lot. Like even the things that I did like I know I did have cravings, but at the same time, my favorite thing, if you do know me, is chocolate. I love chocolate. I couldn't even taste chocolate. Like when I tried to eat chocolate, I believe I was downstairs in my mom's bed laying down watching TV, and I believe I had a ding dong. And my fat butt was trying to eat that ding dong, and I was sick, y'all. I couldn't do it. I can do it. Like morning sickness all day long, like type. It was horrible. It was so bad. I started to lose weight. My start weight of my pregnancy was like, I'll say 119 pounds, 120 pounds. I was so little when I first started out. Like seeing me then and now, it's a big difference. I was very little back then, and I was losing weight the beginning of my pregnancy. My end weight right before I went into labor and had my daughter, I was 181 pounds. Big difference. So yeah, I was losing weight, but after like, by like 3 months, I'll say I actually gained weight. I started to gain my weight back. I was eating normally. Like when I mean I was eating normally, I was eating everything. I was eating 2 meals every setting, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If I was probably eating 2 meals and snacks in between. I was eating so good. My doctor was like, okay, you're a little bit bigger than what you're supposed to be at this point in your pregnancy. And I don't think that you should be, doing what you're doing to gain so much weight as, so soon and so fast. Yeah, like I tried to slow down with the eating and things like that, but I'm not gonna lie, I love food, and that food was good. It's like, I don't know if it's pregnancy eating or what, but when you eating and you pregnant, like I'm killing that food. But yeah, I just gained a lot of weight during my pregnancy, and I kind of kept it on. Like I'm like 171 right now, so the pregnancy did me some good. Okay, baby. Yeah. What else did I write? I wrote a lot of different things to talk about. Cravings. Some cravings that I had when I was pregnant was like I said, anybody who knows me knows I do not like what? Cheese, mayo, sour cream, milk, any type of dairy I don't like. No, I am not lactose intolerant. Don't ask me that. But I just don't like it. I don't eat ice cream, yogurt, nothing. So while I was pregnant, it was the weirdest, craziest thing. I was craving a mayo sandwich. And I know that sounds so disgusting and weird, but when my family was younger, they would eat that as like something like a snack, like something good. Like say if you go get a bag of chips, sometimes they would eat that as like a snack. I know it sounds weird, whatever, but yes. And I was craving a mayo sandwich. Like I could smell it and I could want it. And I don't eat mayo at all. So that was really weird. I said she got that from her daddy because her daddy likes mayo on everything. Ew. Another thing was ranch. Ranch smelled so good. Ranch smelled so good, y'all. Ranch with carrots, it smelled so good. Like when I wanted some ranch and dip them in the carrots in the ranch. Like I was in the grocery store and I could see the dip in it. You know how they got the little trays and stuff in the vegetable and fruit area? I wanted to buy one and eat it up, y'all. Like, oh my goodness. So I didn't do that. Liana, I didn't, but that's the things that I was craving. I was craving everything I did not ever eat before. And the things that I did, like pickles and chocolate and things like that, I can't even eat now. I don't like it anymore. Ever since my pregnancy, like she didn't want it, I didn't like it. So yeah, that's pretty much that. But with my belly actually, I love my belly. I miss my belly to this day. Like I was so like gracefully, beautifully pregnant. Like I loved it. Like I loved my pregnancy. It was a very beautiful and great experience. Would I have more children? I would say yes, but at the same time, I would take time to do this all over again. It would have to be like five years from now. If you guys see me pregnant in the next 2 years or something, like God's plan, again, like I said, not planned, God's plan, unless we talk about that and we want that to have more kids and that's our plan, I will let y'all know, because if not, that was God's plan, y'all. But my belly grew more so, I'll say around 5-6 months, really 6 months. That's when you actually seen my belly, around 6 months, because I was so like small and cute my whole pregnancy. Like anywhere I went, I got compliments. If I went to the grocery store, I got compliments. If I went anywhere to take a walk down, the street just to get some activity in, I got compliments. Like I got so much compliments on my pregnancy and my belly and my glow in my face. Like Brielle loved her mommy, period, point blank. And that's another thing. Her name. Her name came about because I like Brielle. I think I was gonna name her I don't even want to tell y'all what I was gonna name her, because if I have another daughter and I want to name her this, I don't want nobody taking my name. I know that sounds a little petty, but yeah, I don't know. Well, honestly, I'll still say I was gonna name her Braylin. I was gonna name her Nova. I was gonna name her. I had a couple of other names. I can't remember right now, but those were the other two names I would have named her. But we named her Brielle because I just fell in love with Brielle, and then like that L part was like close to Evin, just the E. I don't know. And the Skylar came from her dad. Like we both made her name because he wanted to name her Skylar, but Skylar first, like Skylar Brielle. And I just didn't like that. Like I already had it like written out and in my head as Brielle Skylar. So me, the kind of person I am, like once I do something or once I like write it down or think of it or picture it, like it has to be that way. So he picked out Skylar because I was the name that he loved and wanted so bad, and I wanted Brielle so bad, and we just combined it and came together and made her name as Brielle Skylar. And basically I picked Brielle too because it meant like God-fearing woman, like a woman of God, and I just want God to always be the head of her life and to guide her in her life, like God first, simple as that. And that was pretty much her name. My baby, back to my baby and the growth. My stomach grew perfectly how it was supposed to. I never had any problems. My baby moved a lot too. She moved a lot. Like when she was ready to eat or wanted something, she would move. But the only thing about that was that with the movement, she would not move when I had to do an ultrasound. When I had to do ultrasounds and I had to go to the doctor to get my ultrasounds done, this girl was not nice to me. And keep in mind, we didn't get a lot of ultrasounds because it was the pandemic. In the pandemic and with COVID being so high, and it was the beginning of the pandemic and COVID, we didn't get like in-person visits. We got the phone visits, we got the video visits, we got things like that. Like, so the little bit of visits that I did get, I never really got, good ultrasound pictures because she would never, position herself for the nurse to take the pictures. So, that was a big struggle for me too, because that's one thing I always wanted with my pregnancy was the actual pictures of my baby so I can see it and so I can have them. And she just never participated. She never wanted to help me out. She sleep over there. That's why I keep looking at her. But she never wanted to participate or help me out. So I pretty much just, got what I got. And, it was probably an arm here, a leg there, And I don't know. I think I got one good one. It was like of her, and you could like kind of see actually, what was going on. But yeah, I didn't really have no good pictures until I went to the 3D ultrasound, and that's when I got the best picture of her face. It's all in my house. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was my stretch marks. I didn't get no stretch marks. No stretch marks whatsoever. Like if with smaller girls, smaller women, going from skinnier, smaller to bigger, up and down in my weight, I've always had stretch marks like on my bottom area. So I was used to that, but I was never used to stretch marks like on my back, my sides, or my stomach. I got stretch marks on my sides, and I believe a little bit on the back on my sides right there, but I never got any like on the front of my stomach. Tell me why the day before I had my baby, she gave me stretch marks on my stomach. The day before, y'all. I didn't have no stretch marks the whole time, except for on my sides, and they weren't even that bad. She gave me some the day before. Who does that? Who really does? Like, why did you have to grow that extra little inch? Luckily, she was healthy though, and I could say that. Like, my baby was very healthy. Like, through my whole pregnancy, every time I went to the doctor and I had an update and I had to like, you know, check on her and, you know, do all the tests that I needed to do for her brain and all just her health in general. She was a healthy baby. Nothing was ever wrong with her. She was growing the way she should be, shaping how she should be. Everything was perfect and fine. So I was truly blessed about that part. I didn't have any problems with that. Any problems. No kind of problems. So I was really blessed about that. But with my pregnancy, I had a lot of, not complications or anything like that, but complications. I had a pain, which I guess I had an inflamed rib right up under my left breast right here. And still to this day, it hurts and I have whatever going on there and I need to go get that checked out, and I still have not. But through my pregnancy, they just kept telling me, oh, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. You're okay. You're okay, whatever. And I'm telling them, like, I have pain, like, it hurts. Like, what are y'all talking about? It hurts. So I would tell them, and they never pretty much did nothing about it. They would say, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, it's her foot, it's this. It was never her foot. It was never nothing of what they were saying, but most likely the inflamed rib, unfortunately. And it hurt the whole time. Like, it was really painful, and it was really like upsetting. Like, I was already uncomfortable. Keep in mind, you have a baby, your whole baby. You can't sleep on your stomach. You can't sleep how you want. The sleeping part was very uncomfortable. It was just, sometimes it was miserable. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Sometimes the sleeping part was miserable. Like, it was just like, who wants to be pregnant? Like, why are y'all doing this? like, why are y'all doing this? All these things that you got to go through, like, no, this not cute, but okay, I guess it's beautiful. So the sleeping part was horrible, and I was tired all the time. Like, when I mean I would eat and sleep, it was a routine for Evin. Like, it was literally a routine for me. Like, that's pretty much all I did my pregnancy, other than like going out shopping or going out, you know, taking a walk, going to the trail, going with my boyfriend, going somewhere with my mom and sister, little things like that. So yeah. My hair actually grew though. From my pregnancy, my hair actually grew. It did grow a lot. Like, I've always had a good like amount of hair on my head and length on me. So I never really had problems with my hair or anything like that. But my hair actually grew even more during my pregnancy for some reason. And I didn't take my prenatals for that long. So maybe they helped, maybe they didn't. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't really do nothing. It just grew. What else did I write down to talk about? Things that I used during my pregnancy, like lotion, cream, and oil. I pretty much used Palmer's for stretch marks, I believe. And then it was another one that my mom bought me. And it was supposed to be really good, but when I used it, it like burnt to my stomach, and I was so upset and sad about it. But I never used it again. I'll probably like put it in the description or something when I look at it, because I forgot what it was called. But I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. I don't know. I just use Palmer's, and whatever happens, because that's pregnancy, and I love my body regardless. And you clearly know once you get pregnant, you're gonna get stretch marks or you're not. Either way it goes, it didn't matter to me. I was happy, and it was for my baby. When it came to like a gender reveal, I literally couldn't have anything. I couldn't have a gender reveal nor a baby shower, because it was COVID and you can't do nothing in a pandemic. Pretty much, it's too many people going around that's sick and don't know that they're sick, that's been around somebody and just got infected. It was too much of that going on. So me and my family, we were very cautious about that, and we were serious about it. And you know, some people might have thought we were being crazy, weird, or just too into the pandemic and COVID. But guess what? We were safe the whole time. We've been safe since it has started, and we've been safe now, and we are okay. So when it came to the gender reveal, like, I did not get to do nothing like that. I mean, I got dressed and I looked cute, you know, got my hair and nails done, just put on like a little regular black dress and some sandals. And yeah, I just went to the park with my boyfriend, my sister, and my mom. And I just, like, you know, popped the cannons to see what was the gender. This is how I found out I was having a girl, though. I found out I was having a girl because of the nurse at Kaiser, West LA, because she didn't know that she was supposed to tell me. So everybody knew that I wanted to find out, through the envelope with my sister telling me, or through the cannons, whatever. I was gonna give the envelope of the gender to my sister, and she was gonna go get the cannons with the color that we needed, and that's how I was gonna find out when I bust the cannons. So I went to the doctor's appointment where they find out, test your baby for all the things that they need to test her for, and they find out the gender. So I went to that doctor's appointment, and like I told you guys, Brielle would never be a good baby to where we could get a good picture or anything like that. So they kept searching on my stomach for a good view to find out what she was. And they just couldn't, because she wouldn't position correctly. So she wouldn't position correctly. So they had flipped me on the left side. They flipped me on the right side. They had me sit up. They had me sit back and do it all over again multiple times until they could try to get it. And then they brought in 3 nurses to help out and try to do it, and they still couldn't do it. So then after that, one nurse came in and they asked her to do it, and she started doing it. And she was like, I don't know if she heard what they were trying to say or what, but they were trying to let all the nurses know, don't say the gender out loud. She's gonna, do it with an envelope, opening or whatever. And I don't think they told her that, because when she came over and she was looking at my stomach and stuff, I don't know what she was looking for, because the whole purpose was to find the gender and get a good picture so I could have it. And she was like, oh, I think she won't move from this position or whatever, but the key word was she. And so once I heard that, I ain't gonna lie, I tried to act like I didn't hear what she said, and I tried to act like I was crazy and she didn't say that, and just try to psych myself out of it, because it was supposed to be a surprise. But I heard what she said. She said she. Thanks a lot, nurse, whoever you was, because that's how I found out that I was having a girl, because the nurse slipped up and said it. And then they still couldn't get the picture that they wanted, so I had to go walk. And, try to get the baby to move in other positions, drink water, so on and so on. So while I'm walking back and forth in the hall of the ultrasound area, I'm literally just smiling. When I mean, I'm cheesing up and down, because I was so excited. I'm walking back and forth till they was coming to get me and said it was enough time. And I'm just smiling the whole time. I'm thinking about all these things in my head. I'm having a daughter. It's a girl. I'm about to go buy her this. I'm about to go buy her that. I did the most for my baby. I did it up. I bought every and anything I could and wanted and felt that she needed. I don't know. It was my first baby. She was a girl, and she's the first girl out of, me and my siblings to have our children. So I was just excited, and I went back inside, and they did the test again, the ultrasound test again, and they got the pictures that they needed, and they put it in the envelope. And then I walked off with the envelope in my hand, and I just was holding it tight, and I was just like, oh, I'm so excited. I want to look at it right now, but I know I'm not supposed to, but I really want to look at it right now. But I'm like, no, I'm not gonna look at it right now. I'm gonna do it the right way, so it'll be better when I do an actual gender reveal or whatever. And so I put it in my purse. I'm like, let me put it in my purse. I wear a big bag everywhere I go. So I'm like, let me put it in my purse or whatever. And then I just, pulled off, and I kept it going. And I think that same, it was not same day. I think a couple of days later, we did the gender reveal, because I gave it to my sister. And probably the next day or something or whatever, I had got my hair and nails done. And then my mom had picked me and my boyfriend up, and we all went together to the park. And that's how I found out, by letting them off. And it was a girl, as I already said. Everyone knows I have a girl, Brielle Skylar. And it was just so exciting to know. But he didn't know. My boyfriend didn't know. He didn't know it was a girl. And I didn't tell him that I accidentally heard the nurse say it was a girl. So he, the whole time, thought it was a boy, because together we thought and we wanted a boy. But no, she was actually a girl. But like I said, my whole pregnancy, I thought I was having a girl from jump. I knew I was having a girl. So just always listen to yourself. When it comes to pregnancy, listen to yourself with everything, with your body, with everything that you're doing. Listen to yourself and your heart. Like, I knew I was having a girl and I had a girl. Like, I wanted a boy, but I knew I was having a girl. Like, in my spirit, I felt I was having a girl. So with that being said, basically, I'm gonna actually leave the video at the end of this video, or I'm gonna post it next after this, and then you guys will be able to see it. But I know I had something else I wanted to say on the video. Oh, I seen other people was talking about it. So I seen, hold up, y'all. Okay, sorry, y'all. That was my brother. He was asking me something. Anyways, the last couple little thing I wanted to say was everyone kept asking, even like some of my homegirls and stuff, was about pregnancy sex. I know it's kind of like TMI, but when it came to me, I was not doing that. Like, I mean, of course, we did what we did, but me personally, when it came to my pregnancy, like, I didn't want to be touched. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to be touched too much. I was big. Like, I got big, and I was really like a good size and chunky. Like, I got my booty, I had my boobs, because my boobs grew, y'all. When I mean my boobs grew, like, they were big. Like, when it got to a certain point in my pregnancy, my boobs were like, yeah, like, they were sitting up there. Okay, so I had the butt, the boobs, and I ain't never had that. So I was feeling myself. I was looking good, and I was pregnant at that. So I was just a fine ass mom, period, the pretty one. So yeah, like, I don't know, when it came to that situation, like, I literally wasn't too big on that. But of course, you do love on your spouse and your partner, but I just wasn't too, like, big on it like everybody else says and things like that. We did what we did and move it on. But if I was to have more kids, I would be happy. And, I do want Brio to have a sibling. I don't want her to be the only child. But right now, the way the cards are dealt, I'm just not ready for that. And I'm still young. I'm only, like I said, 25 years old. And I just want this one child for right now. This is what I'm going to say. I just don't want that. That's a lot. That's a lot of work. Like, the newborn stage all over again. Do y'all be knowing what y'all doing before y'all had these kids? I don't think so. I didn't even know what I was doing before I had these kids. Like, I done said I wanted a kid so many times, so bad, over and over and over again. But that doesn't mean I knew what I was getting myself into or doing. I just always, tell my baby daddy, like, we need somebody back there riding along with us, hanging out. And now we got that every day, all day. And I love it. Like, being a mom is, like, honestly and truly the best thing that has ever happened to me. Not just saying that because everyone says it, but because it's honestly true in my life and my story. Like, I love my daughter. Brielle Skylar is amazing. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's funny. She's energetic. She's active. She's literally like a sponge. She soaks up everything good. Like, everything good she just draws to. So she's literally the magic in my life. Like, the light in my life. Like, I thank God for her every day. Like, the blessing, the miracle that I've always wanted and needed. And, it's only up from here for me and my daughter. And I just got so many things that I want to teach her and give her and bond with her and build and show her. And it's just a blessing, to have children. And I do recommend children to people, but just when you're ready and when your life is actually ready for them as well. That's pretty much it. Like, when it came to my baby shower, I couldn't have a baby shower. It's nothing pretty much to tell about that. It was COVID pandemic. Like I said, we wasn't doing it. We wasn't about to be around a whole bunch of people. I couldn't even go to anybody else's baby showers when they actually had theirs. Like, it was just, the pandemic sucks. It really ruined a lot of things for me, and I was really hurt, but I didn't dwell on it and make it a big thing, because me being pregnant alone was a blessing and really had me, just excited and happy. And yes, I was nervous. Yes, I was nervous being pregnant, becoming pregnant, because, you're about to be a mother. You have a whole entire life coming into your world, and that's going to be in your hands, that you have to deal with 18 plus years. So that life, is something that you and your spouse created, and it's serious. It's not a joke. I really take pregnancy seriously. I take sex more seriously nowadays because it's like, if you're not using protection, you clearly know what you signed up for. So yeah, my pregnancy story, this was it. But yes, if you guys, like I always say, have any questions or anything you want to ask or say, comment below. What else, guys? Like, comment, and subscribe. That's my story, and I love you guys.